So this is the form page and the contact page. I'm going to go file save as. Let me just check the link. The link is contact.html. I'll copy it just so that I don't make a spelling mistake, or if there is a spelling mistake, it's consistent. So I'm going to save this page as my contact.html, saved, and what I want to do is just change stuff within this container. So I just need a form there. I'm going to come here, h1 contact, or I'm just going to go inquire verb, inquiry, whatever you want. Okay, I'll leave it as contact. And I had an example of a form which we looked at earlier in W3.CSS. So let's go and find that reference which we saved. So the form reference, pretty good. And it has got a name, email, and some kind of choice. So what are you interested in? Home loan, car loan, rah, rah, rah. Okay, so I'm just gonna use their form. It's a standard form which we did earlier, form and input types. But by default, the styles applied to it, you see when I click on it, the animation happens. You don't have to do it. You get nice, funky, clean web style. It's very modern. It adheres to the principle of material design by Google. Look it up. It's something really you should. So the new visual grammar is clean backgrounds, uncluttered, as opposed to 500 layers. And I'll show you something. Like when we were in Iraq, we used to slash old site. Okay, now old site maybe two. So see this design full of clutter. This is when I worked in Dubai with a bunch of Iraqis. It was really a lot of clutter, thousands of layers. So when I first came to Australia, this is how I used to design: wireframe, 3D lines. And when I started here at Griffith, I already had all of that in my head. So when I made my showcase, you can see this texture everywhere. There's lines here, dots here. It's stuff everywhere. And if you see the website that I made, just thousands of lines, thousands of lines. This is what was, it's very Middle Eastern, glow, glitter, texture. And it is olden design. That's no longer the trend. People find this offending. When the web started, people wanted to put everything on it. Nice colors, rollovers, pretty fancy, you know. But now it's all about usability. It's all about how good does it look on a phone. If you're going to a website, you're going for information, you're going to buy stuff, you're not going to see how awesome it is. Initially, when the world of web started, people wanted to make awesome stuff. Look at my site, really great design. But now it's really about functionality, okay, and really clean. So a kind of grammar has been set. Like English, the language had a grammar, and that language changed and adopted for the SMS. So you had all of the great GR8. So there was an adaptation of that language for the need. So in the same way, the web visual grammar has adapted, and it follows a particular thing called as it has really been embodied by many people. And if you look up material design by Google, you will get the ideas of what is considered as modern and acceptable. Not that Google should be defining what everybody should do, but it's a really nice thing to study this. So their own logo is actually based on their ideas of material design. Google material design. Yeah, these are the design guidelines. Have a look at this. So if you look this up, just have a look at it. What are the different principles? What is good design? Should be bold, intentional. So you don't just put things for the sake of putting things. You can simulate motion And you can see there's a subtle gradient here. There is a gradient from red to purple, very subtle gradients. So W3.CSS, I really liked it because you can see the style. It is very much similar to what I really like in terms of material design. So coming back to my contact page, I think I've already got my form. So I've pasted my form. I'm going to modify it. Name, email, instead of subject, I'm going to call it message. 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 In terms of options, okay. So choose your option. Option 1. I'll kill this. I'm going to actually take this off. I'm just going to say home loan, car loan, equipment loan. And what I'm going to do is make one more. I don't want this disabled, by the way. So it's checkbox. And I'm going to put one more. I'm going to call it other. So let's preview it. The button which they have. Did I get the button? No, I didn't get the button. Just need the button as well. Finally, button, I'm going to call it submit. I can always say type equals submit. Similar to what we did in the forms when we were doing JavaScript. Let's go back here. Let's come here and see how my contact page looks like. So there you go. Now my submit and footer have got merged. So I need padding, and I think I have a class margin W3 margin 32. Yep, I've got my margin. My button is separate. It's good. Home loan, car loan, other. And this one is checked by default. I will remove that. So if you say checked, yeah, and that's enough for me. I've got a nice beautiful form. Submit, my spelling. It didn't look correct. Submit. Awesome. Finally, under home loans, I had 2 or 3 types of home loans, which I will put into a table. And that's really no big deal. I showed you what kind of table I'm going to use. I will put it in a table like this, and I'll complete that page. And that will be my responsive site. Do test it using one of these things in the browser. Just add a plugin. So if I come back here and I test it, preview in Chrome, test it how it looks on a mobile phone. So that's the home page. That's just for content. I don't need that. I've left it. I just thought if I put this up as an example. So those are the 4 products. Beautiful. Stacking one below the other. And now the problem here is because I've set a fixed height of 400, it does not expand. Now that's bad. That's bad. I need to do something about it. But I'm going to stop the recording here, and I'll make that height responsive as well.